All right, what's going on, y'all? I'm gonna wait till everybody gets in here, and we're gonna start this off. So, once again, I want to give a big shout out to Millions.co for allowing me to do this stream today. So, welcome everybody. My name is Tyler A. Gates. For those of you who do not know, welcome to Millions, welcome to YouTube, and welcome to the Super Bowl pre-show party. I have a lot to get in with you today. Once again, when you discuss this year's Super Bowl versus last year's or the year before that, at least we don't have to see one team every single year. It differentiates. So I'm glad that we are all kind of here together to kind of witness this great possible revenge story of the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Let me know down below in the comments. We're gonna go live on all of these comments. I'll have that being said. We're gonna go live here fully in just a few moments.
Yeah, Mom said there's a link you can send it to her. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. All right. Gonna get down into this here, and before I do, let me give a big shout out to those of you who actually came on. So, for those of you who do not know, like I said, my name is Tyler A. Gates. I will be your host for today's Super Bowl pre-show party, brought to you by Millions.co. And honestly, guys, I'm proud to be here. I'm excited to be here. Like I just said, Seahawks, Patriots, Super Bowl 60. Who was going to win this Super Bowl? We saw last year in the Super Bowl the Chiefs and the Eagles, and honestly, it was a blowout. But here we're gonna see exactly what team has the leverage. So I'm really just thrilled overall to kind of see what is really gonna happen. Like who is going to have that defensive stance? Who is going to be that one guy that sets apart everything? Who is going to be that one person that says it's my time or it's time for me to show up? And as the producers are in my ear, they're saying hello. They're saying what's up to you guys. So I thank them once again for allowing me this beautiful platform to come to you guys and talk about Super Bowl 60. Come hang out with your boy Tyler A. Tell your friends, to tell your friends, to tell your mama, to tell your grandma, to tell your auntie, to tell your uncle. We're here for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. Come hang out. Let's talk about the pre-show. Let's talk about the halftime show with Bad Bunny. Let's talk about this game in general. Now, I do have some questions for the chat, just to kind of start it off, and I really want to hint at what this could mean for certain people in this position. So you have a Jackson Smith and Jigba, who the offensive player of the year. You have Sam Darnold, who was an MVP candidate. You also have Jake Bobo, who could be a Super Bowl hero. Leonard Williams, who played with the Jets with a Sam Darnold and with Jason Meyer, ironically enough. So they know what it feels like to lose, but they also have that feeling of winning, but not winning the big game just yet. So my first question to you guys would really be not necessarily what it's going to take or who it's going to take. My biggest question is the first question I want to ask here is, who is your biggest X factor? Because when it comes to the Super Bowl era, we have seen people become big time X factors in everything, whether it was, I don't know, a Super Bowl winning catch, a Super Bowl winning play. You love to see it. You love to see it. And having said that, you don't look at it as a way of saying, hey, this is something that we're going to make sure that is a priority. No, it happens in the moment. The Super Bowl is all about moments. It's not even about plays. It's about moments. And one thing that surprises me a lot as I'm looking at the stats here, Jackson Smith and Jigba has not really dropped a pass at all this season. He does not drop passes at all. He doesn't. And what surprises me is that even with him winning Offensive Player of the Year, he doesn't really have much say in what he does on the field. That more so goes to a Sam Darnold. So, once again, I'm going to ask the question, what do you guys think is the biggest X factor? But before I get to that question, I want to know who has more to prove tonight. I think that's the biggest question that everybody really has to see. So one of my good friends, Brandon, love you, man. He's in the chat saying that he's going with the Seahawks, first of all, to win the Super Bowl. And he said this: I think it's going to be a big factor for Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp. I do believe that Cooper Kupp has to be not only an X factor, but he has to be the guy that steps up if JSN gets shut down. You have Jake Bobo as well. You also have your tight end set. But Sam Darnold is going to have to realize, hey, I can't just throw it away. I can't just magnify a situation. No, I have to build upon it, one. And two, I have to play in the moment. You have to play in the moment when you're in the Super Bowl. But Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp they have the most to prove tonight. And to move to the next question, speaking of proving things and finding things, Christian Gonzalez has to prove to us that he can guard the best wide receiver in the game on the biggest stage, but he also has to find his inner core. He has to find his inner self. Christian Gonzalez has not really been himself when it comes to these big games. He kind of backs out of the pressure of guarding the wide receiver. One, if you look at some of the clips and some of the tapes, even the highlights, you look at how he kind of deflects from those situations and wants to be in other situations that don't really matter. And it says here too that Sam Darnold is more efficient under pressure throughout his career in certain situations. But also what you need to look at is the fact that he also understands pressure. He went through pressure all through high school, USC, the Jets. That's probably the most pressure he's had, if not tonight. But the Jets is the most pressure that he's had to succeed right out the gate. Nobody succeeds with the Jets because of the Jets ownership and how they kind of go about themselves in that organization. But I feel like they they have the most to prove tonight. Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp for the Seahawks, and then the Patriots, I think Christian Gonzalez. I'm not even going to say Drake May because it's his first time here. So he's going to make mistakes, but at the end of the day, we all have to make mistakes in order to get better. The second question that I have for you guys is who or which rather, what is the biggest X factor of this game? And for me, and a lot of people at Millions, shout out Donnie Ray. Her stream is at 6:30. Watch the Super Bowl with her on Millions. The same thing as here on YouTube as well as 6:30. But the biggest question for me is, what is the biggest X factor of this game? We just got out the who now, but what is going to be the biggest X factor? And for me, I believe the biggest X factor is the fourth quarter. It's going to be the fourth quarter. I don't see anybody that doesn't have that inadequate belief to say, you know what, I'm not going to step up in the fourth quarter, or I'm going to try my hardest. No, everybody's going to do their best to step up in the fourth quarter, and that's where I feel like the Seahawks have to. They have to take advantage of a young Drake May. They have to take advantage of a young, somewhat offensive line of the Patriots with Will Campbell being the rookie. They have to take advantage of Christian Gonzalez kind of going in and out of different pass coverages. And also to that point, Sam Darnold has to realize that he is the X factor on offense. A lot of people are going to say Kenneth Walker III because of the 1 yard line play. I don't think so. I think that 1 yard line play, out of everything else, has so much to do with not being confident. They're not confident in their line. And the Marshawn Lynch play, ironically enough, happened against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So that's why I call it the revenge game. I do believe that if they're in that situation again, they're not going to. They're not going to throw it. They're actually going to run it. Sam Darnold jokingly said he was going to throw it. I don't know how serious he is about that, which I will watch out for. But I don't think they're going to be in that situation at all. But like I said, the biggest X factor is going to be Sam Darnold on the Seahawks side. And then for the Patriots, I said who, but this is the biggest X factor is, excuse me. The biggest X factor for the Seahawks is Sam Darnold and the quarterback play in the second half. What is it for the Patriots? Their defense. We know that their defense kind of suffers a little bit when we look at the stats. Once again, their pass coverage is not great. And two, I don't want people to really get down or get active when we talk about, hey, the Patriots are not good, or the Patriots are just back, or they're young, they had an easy schedule. I commented on the easy schedule on the Snake Sports Talk Show, if you want to go look at that on my Instagram. And I said clearly, it's not what they have to do, it's what they need to do, in essence. But I also said that Seattle needs to worry because their defense could come out in a different defense, in a different scheme that we haven't seen before, or that they haven't shown throughout the season and the playoffs. But I'm going to read something to you here, right? We know that New England is a top-tier defense in terms of breaking, but 295 total yards per game. That's ranked 8th among the best. 0.081 EPA/play. That's actually pretty nicely, right? But they only allow just 79.2 yards per game. That's best in the league in the midseason data. So total defense, 295. Their run defense has that 79.2 rushing yards allowed per game in the early to midseason. Their pass defense got better with the 227 passing yards allowed per game. But let's talk about these turnovers, right? 10 interceptions, 9 forced fumbles, and 9 fumble recoveries. That's something that they have to talk about as well on the Seahawks offensive side if you're Mike McDonald talking to your offensive coordinator. How are we going to stop these turnovers? That's one. And two, before we move on to the next question, I feel like this is going to be the biggest thing. How will Jake Bobo step up and be a Super Bowl hero? Come back to that question. But the next question for me is, which team is under more pressure to win on this stage? Which team is under more pressure to win on the stage? If you guys want to answer that, go ahead and I will read your answers. But I do believe that the team that's under the most pressure is, when we're discussing it at least, I like the Patriots. I think the Patriots are under the most pressure. People are going to say the Seahawks because of the 1 yard line Malcolm Butler play. That's fine by me. But the Patriots are under the most pressure because Mike Vrabel had all this success in the first year after not making the playoffs nor the Super Bowl as soon as Tom Brady left in 2019, 2020 to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's two. Another fact also why they are under so much pressure is because you look at what the Patriots are known for. Championships. The Patriots are known for winning championships. They haven't done that in a while. We just got done seeing the Chiefs win championships. We just got done seeing their terror of reign, right? The Patriots' terror of reign, to me, best terror of reign ever. It lasted 18, 19 years, where they were just the best team in the league at almost everything. Yes, they got beat by the Giants and Eli Manning. Yes, Eli Manning beat them again. He beat them twice. Yes, they were in close Super Bowls, but the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day, they were immature. Jake Delhomme, a bit immature. But it was the defense that ultimately gave that up. Wasn't the offense. Think about that. It was the defenses when Brady was young that led them to win those Super Bowls. The greatest show on turf wasn't the offense. It was the other side of the ball that wasn't the greatest show on turf. It was the defense. The Patriots, not the Patriots, but the Eagles back in the day with Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb. What was it that lost them the Super Bowl? Their defense. Let's even go to my favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons. We were up 28-3. I don't like talking about it, obviously, because as you can tell. But what was it? What was it that stopped us from being so successful? The best first half in Falcons history and the second worst half in NFL history. It's funny. The best first half in Falcons history and NFL history in the Super Bowl. And then the second worst. Not even going to get into it. But really, who's under more pressure to me? Easy. It's the Patriots. Plain and simple. Mike Vrabel got to win. I don't think they're going to be back here next year. They're not. A lot of people said the Eagles were going to be back next year. I said no. I tried to call bluff. I said the Eagles are going to be back. They're going to handle all their issues. But we saw that wasn't the case. And the 49ers got it handed to them. When they thought the Eagles were easy, they thought they took down the defending champions, and they thought, oh, we're here now. No. You had to go through Sam Darnold to do it. And that's why they are here. Next question. And if you have not already, before I go to the next question, subscribe to me on millions.co. The website, millions.co, I will link it to you in the comments if you want to go subscribe and look at my coverage there. Also, keep sharing this with your friends. We're going to be on for a few more minutes, so keep sharing this with your friends before time runs out. If you do have any other questions, please hit me up in my DMs or on YouTube or on Twitter. Let me know what you guys are thinking and who do you think really deserves this game? So let me know that as well. Next question. Does the defense decide this game, or do the two quarterbacks decide this game? And, little bonus question, if and only if these two quarterbacks end up doing it, tell me what quarterback desperately needs this game, right? So whose defense decides this game, or does defense decide this game? I think defense ultimately does decide every game because defense wins championships. And when you're discussing the Seattle Seahawks and the Legion of Boom, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of this is not the Legion of Boom, but they're close to it. They are the dark side. So are they going to take the Patriots to the dark side, or are the Patriots going to lead them out of the dark and lead them to a different light? Let me know that answer down below as well. I want to pass over that one because it didn't really mean much. It didn't really mean much, right? But who wins the Super Bowl? MVP. Who wins Super Bowl MVP? We saw the Seahawks last time they went to the Super Bowl and won it. Malcolm Smith won it because he had some amazing plays against the Broncos in that Super Bowl versus Peyton Manning in that Denver Broncos squad. Yes, it did not stand out on the stat sheet, but what stood out during the game is what made him Super Bowl MVP. So, let me know that down below. We're going to take a quick break here, and when I come back, we're going to finish off with the last two questions, but stay tuned. Also, subscribe to me, Tag Live 205 on Millions if you have not already. That is the platform that I'm on. But the Tag Live 205 talk show with the episodes and all, that is on my YouTube, which we are going live from right now, and Instagram. So if you have not already, continue to stay tuned, continue to grow this channel with me, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back to the Super Bowl pre-show with Tyler A. Brought to you by Millions.co. Thank you to Millions once again for allowing me to use their platform. Man, we got to get hyped. This is the Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl that half of America wanted, only half. But I love this Super Bowl matchup for one reason and one reason only: to avenge the 1 yard play. Malcolm Butler is a huge reason why Seahawks fans cry. He's a big reason why Seahawks fans suffer. He's also the reason why Russell Wilson does not have 2 rings. Marshawn Lynch also does not have 2 rings, but you could have ran it with Marshawn Lynch at the 1 yard line. But to further talk about that, I want to stop, pause, and reflect on what that play means for certain teams. 1, if the Seahawks would have won that Super Bowl, I don't think Peyton Manning would have won the next year. 2, if the Seahawks would have won that Super Bowl, I don't think the Falcons would have went to the Super Bowl in 2017. Another thing, if Malcolm Butler dropped that pass, they would have had another shot to probably throw it. Realize that now. The Seahawks were probably going to throw it the whole time. So whether or not he caught it or dropped it, they were going to go again and try to throw it. But if he would have dropped it, that mistake would have came back and said, you know what, we are going to run it now. Because that could have cost us a Super Bowl like that. So kind of enjoy it. Kind of enjoy it while you can. All these storylines, I know Seahawks fans are terrified about the fact that it's been Malcolm Butler videos all week long. The rewind of the 1 yard interception while we didn't pass it to Marshawn Lynch. Russell Wilson, you could have ran the ball in. Richard Sherman on defense, sold in the second half. That it's so many things that you could have done 11 years ago that you can correct tonight. There's so many things that you can solve that was puzzled 11 years ago. There's so many explanations you could have gave 11 years ago that you could turn into results 11 years later. There's so many things that you can do, Seattle, that your fans are going to look back on and say, you know what? That was the right decision. That was the right decision. So if they do throw it at the 1 yard line this year, we're going to know something. But if they catch it, hey, they caught it, right? They caught it. So I want to break down a couple things to you guys. Once again, thank you guys for joining me on this stream. Thank you to Millions for shouting me out on their page and allowing me to always use their platform, especially for this pre-show. 6:30, Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl. It is on NBC. Stay tuned for the pregame on Millions with Scott Whitaker. I want to also shout him out as well. He's going live with a Seahawks legend, Sean Alexander. That will be at 5 o'clock. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. If you're not on the Millions app, go to the Millions website and you will find that link there. Drake May, to me, I'm not saying he's going to be better than Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's going to be better than Joe Montana. I'm not even going as far to say he will be up there with a John Elway. No. But what I am about to say is that Drake May, if he wins this Super Bowl, will put the Patriots back on top as the team to beat for years to come. And the Patriots' window of Super Bowl opens. Their window opens now when everybody thought their window couldn't potentially be opened until 2029. Their window all of a sudden opens, and now you have a young Patriots team with a Will Campbell, with a Drake May, with a Stephon Diggs for 2 more years after this season. Also, Kayshon Boutte, you have so many great players, young vet like Stephon Diggs, who is still young of age, but he's also a veteran in this league. He's been there. He's done that on so many levels. But this is his first Super Bowl, and I'm proud of him, especially to see where he's come from. Stephon Diggs and the whole Diggs family. Trayvon Diggs, one of the best cornerbacks I have seen in this generation. despite the numbers not being all there, playing for the Cowboys, getting released by the Cowboys, signing with the Packers this season, not really making that much of an impact. And then the Packers end up releasing him a couple weeks back. I don't like that. Once again, I think Trayvon Diggs will be a great fit on a team like the Falcons. And that's no biasness here. And why I say that is because you give A.J. Terrell and a shutdown corner next to him. Other teams like the Panthers even, or let me even go up my way to say the Jaguars, would be a great fit for him long term. And he still has a lot left in the tank. But I'm going to give you some statisticals and then we're done. And for Jackson Smith-Njigba, I always come back to him. There's so many people in my life that love to hear me say that name. There's so many people that love to hear me say Jackson Smith-Njigba's name because I always get it right the first time. It's hard to say. It is a tongue twister, but you will understand it better by and by. You will understand his name, and you will understand why he is the best wide receiver in the league. If you have not already, go to DraftKings. Take these bets, please. I am not that guy, but what I will tell you is that Jackson Smith-Njigba going over 200 yards, that's a given. Sam Darnold throwing for over 200 yards, that's a given. I do believe JSN goes crazy tonight. That's why I said that's a given. I don't think he's going to go under 150 or 200 yards. Christian Gonzalez is going to have a tough time defending him. There's other aspects of this game as well that you have to look at. But I will save that for my show later on in the week when I see it happen, because it's just like a great buddy of mine says, you have to be patient and let it fester. Everything that the Patriots have gone through for 11 years since that, winning more Super Bowls, Tom Brady retiring, quote unquote, but leaving the Patriots, going to the Buccaneers, them having Cam Newton for that one season, then drafting Mac Jones, trading Mac Jones, drafting Drake May, and now they're here. I'm going to tell Patriots fans one thing about this game. I wouldn't exactly say this is a done deal. I hope you guys understand that, like all the analysts said, especially Mina Kimes, who is the biggest Seahawks fan I know, what she said is that I look at the box score of the last Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl matchup, and she also said this too. What I want to see out of this team, this iteration of the Seahawks, I want to see a more physical, a more diabolical approach to this game. And she broke it down by saying, you know what? To counter that, I want to see Sam Darnold run the football. And a lot of people were shocked when she said that because Sam Darnold is not a mobile quarterback. But what he is efficient, calculated. Sam Darnold has that X factor to him. He has that X factor to him, man. He understands that, you know what? I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through a lot on the football field, off the field as well. I've had people call me a bust, but yet I'm still standing. I've had people say I shouldn't even play football, but I'm still standing. I even had people in Carolina when I was in Carolina saying, Baker Mayfield should start over you, but I'm still here standing, and I'm in the Super Bowl before he is. I'm in the Super Bowl before Josh Allen. I'm in the Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson. And mind you, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both won MVPs. They both won MVPs. Most Valuable Player Awards. And yet he's in the Super Bowl before them. It's crazy. Lamar Jackson made more money, has made more money than Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl before him. Josh Allen has made more money before Sam Darnold and is in the Super Bowl before him. Baker Mayfield, just a little bit more on his guaranteed contract, but guess what? Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl before all three of them in that heralded 2018 NFL draft class of quarterbacks. It's amazing. It's amazing. It is truly amazing. But my bold prediction is plain and simple. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. And the main reason why is because you look at what they've been able to do the whole season. One of the tougher schedules in the NFL. Trading away Geno Smith. Jackson Smith and Jigba taking over for DK Metcalf as wide receiver 1. Kenneth Walker possibly leaving in free agency. Nope. I think he's going to be back. Your offensive line didn't help. You draft Greg Zabel from North Dakota State University. You ensure your defense by bringing in one of the best in the game and of his generation in DeMarcus Lawrence. You also give Devin Witherspoon the full keys to the secondary. You say, lead this secondary group. You are our Richard Sherman. Lead this group. And I love it. I love everything about that Seahawks team. A year ago, Mike McDonald said we were going to play the NFC title game in our house. And they did. And they won. He predicted it. But one more prediction he needs to cross off tonight. It's winning a Super Bowl as a head coach. So once again, thank you to everybody who's joined this live stream. Thank you to Millions for always allowing me on their platform. Thank you to YouTube for this streaming success. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, if you do not know who I am, for those of you who are either just joining or you guys are new, Tyler A. Gates, that is my name. One of the best in the business, as I like to call myself. But Tag Lock 205 is one of the best shows in the business. If you subscribe to every episode, subscribe to the channel, and you can watch me on YouTube weekly and come live on Millions every week, 1 day a week, to just talk about everything sports trending, what's going on. But give me the Seahawks over the Patriots 28-24. As always, I am your host, Tyler A. Gates. Super Bowl pre-show party. We're out.